Good evening. Several aspiring national and local politicians have filed their certificates of candidacy for the 2025 elections on the first day of candidacy filing on Tuesday, October 1. To give us updates on who have already filed their COCs, joining us live is our Diane Sampang. Diane?
Neil, we saw familiar and unfamiliar faces today at the Manila Hotel City, the COC filing venue for the national post. The re-electionists and first-time candidates. Agri-party list representative Wilbert Lee was the first one to file his COC for senator, while the Kabayan Party was the first to do so among party list groups. It was a fiesta atmosphere outside the hotel tent as the supporters of Lee and Kabayan Party list brought placards and drums. Meanwhile, Francis Tolentino was the only senator who filed his COC today for re-election. He is part of the administration's senatorial slate. Former presidential candidate Joey Montemayor also filed his COC for senator. Bayan Muna Party List is seeking to return to the House of Representatives. Its three nominees, Nery Colmenares, Ferdinand Gaite, and Carlos Zarate, were present in the filing. Meanwhile, the COMELEC released the list of 42 party list groups that cannot participate in next year's elections, as they failed to secure enough votes or participate in the last two elections. Neil, someone also brought color to today's event. Senatorial aspirant Daniel Magtira says he wants to marry Senator Amy Marcos. Back in 2021, he claimed to be the husband of actress and host Chris Aquino. Overall, the first day of COC filing is peaceful and orderly, according to COMELEC Chairman George Garcia. Back to you, Neil.
Diana, based on your report, you mentioned that the first day of the filing of certificates of candidacy is peaceful and orderly. Can you give us a walkthrough kung paano yung proseso dyan ng pag-file ng COCs ng ating mga aspiring candidates?
Okay, so yung pag-file ng COC ng aspiring candidate, same siya sa national and local elections. So dito no sa Manila Hotel Tent City, upon entering the hotel tent, they will proceed to the section of the law department. Doon nila ipapakita yung requirements nila such as the COC. And then i-assess ng law department kung tama yung requirements na pinasa nila. And then they can now proceed to the section ng interview where they can hold Q&A with the media, or they can photograph. They can be photographed. Also, for the local post, i-receive ng Office of the Election Officer or provincial election supervisors kapag outside NCR, and within NCR, regional election director naman ang mag-receive ng COC nila. Once the law department receives their copies, ayun nga, katulad din sa sinabi ko kanina, same siya sa national and local post.
Diane, may mga na-mention kang ilang mga aspiring candidates for the senatorial post, no? Kanina, how about the local posts here in Metro Manila, outside Metro Manila? Do we have any list of notable politicians who filed their certificate of candidacy for their bid sa kanilang localities?
For notable faces in Quezon City, we have Mayor Joy Belmonte, who filed her COC for re-election as mayor. In Makati City naman, we have Senator Nancy Binay, who filed her COC for mayor. Yung kapatid naman niya, si incumbent Mayor Abby Binay, she will run for senator and she is under the slate of the administration. For representatives naman in Cavite City, Representative Lani Mercado Revilla also filed for re-election. Later, Representative Martin Romualdez also filed for re-election. And also in Pampanga, 2nd District, Representative Gloria Macapagal Arroyo filed for re-election.
Diane, I think it's important to understand, no? May importante na ipaintindi natin sa mga nanonood ngayon na just because you filed a certificate of candidacy, na ibig sabihin noon, you will be included in the final list of candidates na mapapasama doon sa printed na balota next year. Can you explain kung ano yung magiging proseso ng COMELEC matapos itong filing ng COC? I believe this will last until October 8. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
And so after the October 8 COC filing period, what happens next? Meron ba tayong tinitingnan na timeline? Kailan mapafinalize yung final list of candidates for the 2025 national and local elections?
Okay. After ng COC filing, hindi lahat ng nag-file ng COC within this period, hindi pa sila declared as official candidates for the next year polls. Kasi base sa COMELEC, magdadaan ng deliberations itong candidates. Titignan if they will be declared as nuisance candidates. Kaya medyo matatagalan yung pag-release ng official list nito.
Then, can you explain kung ano ibig sabihin kapag sinabi natin na nuisance candidate?
Okay, so kanina sa briefing after the COC filing ended at 5 p.m., COMELEC Chairman George Garcia shared na may mga nagpunta na kulang yung binigay na requirements, such as 3 kopya lang instead of dapat na 5 copies of COC. And also may nagpunta na gusto lang ilagay yung pangalan sa registration and walang pinasang requirements. Nilinaw din ni Chairman na hindi grounds for nuisance declaration ng isang candidate kung mapapatunayan na kung sinabi nito na wala itong pera or wala itong financial support to support their candidacy. Pero mapapatunayan na isa kang nuisance candidate kapag yung COC mo ay mapapatunayan na parang pangungutya or mockery sa process ng election. Kung ang COC ay nagkukos ng paglilito sa mga voters kasi parehas ng pangalan mo yung isang pangalan ng candidate. And also kapag napatunayan na wala kang genuine intention to run for election.
Okay, thank you, Diane. That's Diane Sampang reporting live from Manila.
Thank you so
After
much.
7 years, a Manila court found the 10 fraternity men behind the death of University of Santo Tomas law freshman Atio Castillo III guilty of violating the anti-hazing law. On Tuesday, October 1, the Manila Regional Trial Court Branch 11 convicted the suspects from Aegis Juris Fraternity, namely Arvin Balag, Min Wei Chan, Axel Munro Hipe, Oliver John Audrey Onofre, Joshua Joriel Macabali, Ralph Trangia, Robin Ramos, Jose Manuel Salamat, Daniel Hans Matthew Rodrigo, and Marcelino Bagtang. The 10 members were sentenced to reclusion perpetua or lifetime imprisonment after being charged guilty for violating Republic Act 8049 or the anti-hazing law. They are also sentenced to jointly and severally pay the heirs of Castillo the amount of 461,800 pesos as actual expenses, 75,000 pesos as civil indemnity, 75,000 pesos as moral damages, and another 75,000 pesos as exemplary damages. Meanwhile, after the guilty verdict of the fraternity members, Atio Castillo's parents maintain that they continue to hold the University of Santo Tomas and its law dean responsible for their son's death.
I would like to say that I'm holding University of Santo Tomas responsible for the death of our son. It has been proven that Aegis Juris has been practicing hazing. And it's time to check your policies and your laws in the school. I would like to reiterate again that the school, the university, the civil law department, the dean himself failed to protect our son.
But UST Law Dean Nilo Divina insists that the university and the Faculty of Law fulfilled their duty to protect students despite the death of Atio Castillo. On September 17, 2017, Castillo died from hazing while being recruited by Aegis Juris. He was only 22 at the time. The autopsy results showed that Atio suffered severe blunt traumatic injuries which led to his death. The Supreme Court has denied the protection writ sought by former presidential spokesperson Harry Roque. The High Court, through its spokesperson attorney Camille Sue Mei-Ting, explains the court's decision of denying Roque's request for the writ amparo, saying that amparo is not the proper remedy against congressional contempt and detention orders. The Supreme Court made the ruling during their en banc session on Tuesday, October 1. Roque, through his daughter Bianca Jacinta, asked the High Court to issue a writ of amparo prohibiting the House of Representatives Quad Committee from effecting the contempt and arrest order against Harry Roque. A writ of amparo is a remedy available to any person whose right to life, liberty, and security has been violated or is threatened with violation by an unlawful act or omission of a public official, employee, or private individual. The younger Roque said the Quad panel committed grave abuse of discretion when it required her father to produce additional documents or attend any future hearing or meeting. She added that her father has the right against self-incrimination that is enshrined in the Constitution. However, according to Ting, the Supreme Court held that the scope of amparo is limited to extrajudicial killings and enforced disappearances or threats thereof which are not present in Roque's case. The Supreme Court gave the House Quad Committee 10 days to comment on the petition for prohibition sought by Roque. Roque is also asking the High Court to prohibit Congress from implementing its contempt order against him. The Philippine Navy has monitored 178 Chinese vessels in various locations within the West Philippine Sea from September 24 to 30, much lower than the 251 ships recorded in the previous week. Based on the Navy's data released on Tuesday, October 1, out of the 178 Chinese vessels, 28 were Chinese Coast Guard vessels, 17 were People's Liberation Army Navy ships, 131 were Chinese Maritime Militia vessels, and 2 were Research Survey vessels. 14 of these vessels were spotted in Bajo de Masinloc, 24 in Ayungin Shoal, 50 in Pag-asa Islands, 1 in Parola Island, 6 in Kota Island, 2 in Licas Island, 1 in Lawak, 5 in Panata Island, 2 in Rizal Reef, 27 in Sabina Shoal, 16 in Juan Felipe Reef, and 30 in Iroquois Reef. Navy spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea, Rear Admiral Roy Vincent Trinidad, says that it is too early to tell what caused the decrease in the number of Chinese vessels in these areas. Trinidad adds that the country must prepare for the long game in the West Philippine Sea. He also assures that the Navy and Armed Forces of the Philippines will perform its mandate to ensure the integrity of the country's national territory. Last week, the Navy monitored 251 Chinese vessels in the region, surpassing the previous record of 207 ships recorded from September 3 to 9. Senator Bong Go says that he was not aware of any details regarding the killing of former Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office Board Secretary Wesley Barayuga, adding that he supports the reopening of investigations of the incident. In a statement on Tuesday, October 1, Senator Go denies the claims of former PCSO chairperson Anselmo Pinili that he knew information related to Barayuga's death. Go's clarification came after the House of Representatives Quad Committee hearing on Friday, September 27, where Pinili said that he has relayed the possible motive and suspects behind the hit in a privileged conversation with former Undersecretary Jesus Melchor Kitain and Senator Go. But in response to Mendoza's claims, Go says he was already a senator when the incident happened, adding that he was then focused on his duties as the Senate Committee on Health. According to Go, he always referred issues brought to him to proper office, agency, or official. Go further says he does not have the power to interfere in the investigation of the incident. During the Quad Committee hearing, Police Lieutenant Colonel Santi Mendoza tagged 2 former police colonels, National Police Commission Commissioner and a former Davao Region CIDG Chief Edelberto Leonardo, and a former Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office General Manager Royina Garma as behind Barayuga's killing. According to Mendoza, Leonardo contacted him about operating a high-value drug target in the person of Barayuga, who is a former police general and a member of the Philippine Military Academy Matikas class of 1983. Mendoza says he told Leonardo that he would think about the operation, but an APOCOM official said that this operation would bode well for the police officer's career. Mendoza said Leonardo sent him a synopsis that would show how Barayuga was supposedly involved in the illegal drug trade, but when the former said he would conduct his own study, Leonardo supposedly said that the hit already had Garma's blessing. But both Leonardo and Garma have denied Mendoza's claims. Following Mendoza's statements, Philippine National Police Chief General Romel Marbel has ordered the reopening of the case on Barayuga's killing on Sunday, September 29. Senator Bong Go says he welcomes the plans of the PNP to reopen Barayuga's case, adding that it is only proper for Barayuga's family to receive justice, which should have been done long ago. During the hearing, Antipolo's 2nd District Representative Rome Acop says he believes Barayuga was killed because he opposed Garma's plans to expand the small-town lottery operation of PCSO, which Garma also denied. Barayuga, a lawyer and a retired police general, was shot dead in July 2020 on his way home from the PCSO headquarters in Mandaluyong City. These are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good evening.